Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to keep subscribing to the channel and like the videos. Let's dive into the latest I have for you today. So, as mentioned in a previous video, that there were a lot of criticism about Roquan and how he looked sluggish, he looked slow, he didn't look like he was in shape. Now Ravens players are coming out and defending him. They are defending against that criticism that these media outlets have, saying that he is their defensive leader. Like, what you see is not what he actually inputs in practice, which I agree with, because you don't need to be a freaking Greek god in order to be great at football. You just excel at what you do. You put in the work, and you don't have to look the physique of it. I may have been a little bit skeptical about it myself, but again, we're still going through training camp. The veterans still have not reported in yet for training camp, and we still have a month, roughly 8 Sundays to go until NFL kickoff. So there's plenty of time for Roquan to silence the doubters and in pictures make himself look better. Obviously, I don't think he cares about the criticism at all. He's out there to play football. He's out there to prove that he's the best linebacker in the NFL, and he's on the best team in the NFL. So I don't believe that, he's taking any of the criticism seriously. Ravens players are defending him. Marlon Humphrey passionately defended him, saying that they don't know what they're talking about. Kyle Hamilton came out and said the same thing. So I fully expect Roquan Smith to be ready for the NFL season when it's time, and I fully expect him to, silence all these doubters as they come. Yes, last season we did see him look a little slow, but again, that was at the beginning of the season. As the season ramped up, he really got his butt in gear, and we saw him make a lot of big tackles. So, all for this defense that the Ravens have put on for Roquan, and looking forward to him silencing those doubters. Moving on, so Malachi Starks, and this should not be a surprise to anyone, by the way, is named the best rookie in the AFC North division. Because he's one of the few players that the Ravens have managed to sign all of their rookies, and unlike some other teams, we're not going to mention them, but Malachi Starks is named the best rookie in the AFC division, possibly the best defensive rookie in the NFL. It just goes to show how much people have looked at him on tape and from his college days, and just looking at how well his development has gone, especially with OTAs and all of this praise coming out from the coaches, saying that he just is ready to learn, how he gets texts from coaches at 5 o'clock in the morning with film, and he isn't complaining about it. He just wants to learn, and he's giving a lot of praise to Kyle Hamilton for helping him in his development and speed that up. So this is no surprise to anyone that Starks is the best rookie in the AFC North division, and he's named one of the best defensive rookies in the NFL. I mean, it's a tall, it's not really much of a hot take, but to some other people it can be. But I believe there's no hot take here. This is an absolute banger of a take here. He will be the best rookie in the AFC North. Reason why it's 4 for 4 is because ESPN pundits across the board have said, yeah, Malachi Starks is going to be is the best rookie coming out of the draft in the AFC North, and there's just no close second right now. Teams are still trying to sign their players. Malachi Starks was one of the earlier sign-ins the Ravens managed to get. The Ravens recently just signed Mike Green to his rookie deal. So again, Starks is playing ball, and that's what we love to see, is that he is a no-nonsense type of player, and he wants to be able to contribute to the Ravens as much as he can and learn a lot from these veterans that have been in the league for a little while longer, and just be able to provide all he can to the Ravens and win us a Super Bowl this year. I'm moving on to, so this is also not really that surprising. Our Darius Washington is on the PUP list to start the season because of his Achilles tear during the offseason conditioning workouts. Again, no surprise here whatsoever because it's just devastating to see such a player who had a great season for the Ravens and really helped the Ravens out after Week 11, and just was all over the place on the field and just really looking for. And by the way, was on a contract season. Looking no team was willing to bite on at him, and the Ravens were like, he was a restricted free agent, so the Ravens would match any deal that any team would offer. No team offered, so Washington went back to the Ravens, and this was a contract year for him. So just devastating for him, and looking forward for him being back on the field eventually, and hopefully his recovery is speedy and efficient. But again, no real surprise here, but giving you all the latest. And again, Darius Washington, praying for you, man, and hopefully you have a very efficient and speedy recovery. Lastly here, Marcus Williams. This is what I wanted to talk about the most. Marcus Williams recently spoke out about his time here on the Ravens last season, how he was benched and what had happened, why he didn't exceed the expectations as a member of the Ravens. Mind you, he had sparks of greatness during his time, but injuries, and then last season happened. He came out and said that there was no communication from the coaching, and like he just wasn't able to get it, and it wasn't communicated well, and that there was no help on the coaching side. And he was also a little humble about it and said, yes, I think I could have played better. Here's my take on this. Okay, so mind you, Marcus Williams, like I said, had sparks of greatness. He delivered when he needed, when Mike McDonald was the defensive coordinator. Of course, injuries happen, and then Zach Orr became defensive coordinator, and he just got lost. I understand when there's a new coach who does things his way, who probably didn't adjust as much of the previous defensive coordinators' schemes, but adjusted it to him. So it is mind-blowing to me that you're blaming the communication of the coaches for your failures on defense. Mind-blowing to me because during the offseason, there's always, a survey that the players do for each team or for their own team. And the Ravens coaching staff usually gets a high grade. Last season, they got a high grade. I'm so confused on why you're blaming the coaches. I get it. You don't want to blame it entirely on yourself. But when I lost all faith is when during the night game against the Bengals, and Joe Burrow just tossed it to Chase for that long touchdown. And looking at the replay, you were in the back, and somehow he gets behind you, and you look completely lost. Even the announcers said it. They Marcus Williams just got lost out there. What is he doing? Don't blame the coaches. It is on you. And if I'm in your position, I'm just saying that I'm not a football player, but please comment please comment down in the comment section if you are, and correct me if I'm wrong here. As a football player, if you are the cause of reason behind all of these big chunk plays happening, and it's on you as a defender, I would be in the film room. I would be constantly talking to the coaches saying, listen, it was on me. What do I need to do? Let me look over the schemes. Let me look at film. Let me see what's going on here, so I'm able to adapt and play as the best I can. From my very vague understanding of what Marcus Williams just said, he's blaming the coaching staff. But did you go and actually look at the film? Actually put in the work and actually go up to the coaches and say what I'm missing something here. Of course, I could be totally wrong here, but it's like I don't believe it. I think that at some point you just simply gave up and the Ravens just said, okay, we can't do this because we're dead last in yardage allowed and we need to change it. So we're going to put our Darius Washington in there, who was way better next to Kyle Hamilton than Marcus Williams was, or Eddie Jackson was. So I really don't buy that, but correct me if I'm wrong here and comment down below. Thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. Again, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. Have a good one, everyone.